Welcome back, my friends. And today we're going to increase your awareness and knowledge and give you practical application for you empaths, healers, and light workers in our fight against the narcissism. So, what I found on my channel when I start talking about narcissistic personalities, for some reason, that seems to bring people out in droves. So, I'm going to tune in to the message from the universe, and I'm going to help you to understand what is going on, and I'm going to amplify your awareness. And as a little bonus, I'm going to give you an exercise at the end of this video of things that you can do practically to start moving in the right direction. So let's start at the beginning. The beginning point is that the awakening of the average empath, healer, or light worker, when they're in a relationship with a narcissist, is usually a very slow, painful process. And what's the origin of it? So right at the very beginning, here is the origin problem that you have. Is as a healer, empath, light worker, it's a feeling that it is our duty to go and heal the world and help people. And the issue that we reach at a certain point is that there is a certain part of the population that not only don't want to be healed, they don't even see healing as the goal. It's not their goal, folks, to be healed. In fact, let's look at it from a bigger picture. And I know this might be slightly controversial, but the narcissist, the psychopath, the sociopath are put here as obstacles to help the empath, the healer, and light worker to grow as a person. Because the awareness here, the change that you need to have in order to move through this is primarily understanding that not everybody wants to be healed. That some people, they absolutely do not. They don't even know what healing is. They don't understand healing in the same way that the healer, the empath, or the light worker does. They are there playing a game and they're not looking to be fixed. And that's really important on this journey, folks. Really, really important that narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths are not looking to be fixed. The journey, the lesson, the goal for the empath, the healer, and the light worker in this little mad power struggle, shall we say, is to wake up and to start prioritizing your own well-being. So that's the goal, folks. Now, we can talk about people getting stuck or trapped in relationships, or we can talk about the reason why. So what I'm looking to do for you is to take you out of victim energy and to put you in empowered energy. That's where we're going to go with this video. From victim to empowered. And it's very easy to feel like a victim because if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, the odds are that they've done plenty to warrant you positioning yourself as a victim because their behavior is very unfair. They can't listen to reason. They have no empathy. Now, this is the central part of it. They have zero empathy. So trying to reason, an empath trying to reason with a narcissist is the most pointless conversation ever. Now, we've discussed in my previous videos, the switch, the dual personality of the narcissist, your best friend, your worst enemy, all in one package. And there's a little switch, and you never know which personality you're going to be coming up against. Your best friend part says all the right things and does all the right things and might even get you believing that you're on the right path. Unfortunately, the other personality that only have one goal. And this is important, folks. There is only one goal. And this is the overarching goal. And that's for them to be right and you to be wrong. That's it. And it doesn't matter who's really wrong, and it's usually them. They will always make you wrong. They will always do terrible things and make it your fault. And the reason is that they're here for a bigger purpose. They're here to wake you up. They're here to give you boundaries. They're here to empower you. Now, you can only get empowered when you wake up to this dynamic, and it can take decades to discover this. So it certainly took me decades, folks. So I'm going to be very gentle. I've got my kid gloves on today because I understand that once you get through this, once you get to the other side, everything gets clear. Interestingly enough, when I was young, there used to be a program called V, which was about all of these invaders, these lizard people that used to come down. And they developed glasses that if you put them on, you could see who the lizards were and who you weren't. Well, breaking through as an empath, seeing narcissists for what they are, is like putting on these glasses. The end goal for the empath is to spend the rest of your life understanding what narcissism is, being able to spot it, being able to deal with it, and putting boundaries around it. It's like a superpower when you get through it, when you start seeing the world, when you start seeing the narcissist for what they are and see straight through them. It's a superpower. But unfortunately, until you get that set of glasses, until you get that awareness, until you get that self-confidence that comes through self-love and prioritizing your own needs above everybody else, which is the curse of the empath. So if you're watching this video, if you're still watching this video now, the odds are that you are a healer, an empath, a light worker. And the reason I use these three words is because they're virtually the same thing. People just have different descriptions for it. Star Child, I've heard as well. It depends how far down the woo-woo rabbit hole you want to do. But the bottom line is, here's the symptoms of the characters that I'm talking about here. You've got very high empathy. You feel stuff in others. Your intuition is very high. You sense pain in others even before they do sometimes. You can actually mistake other people's feelings for your own. You're highly tapped in. People are drawn to you from everywhere. Strangers will come up to you and they will just tell you all their problems. That's the sign of an empath, a healer, a light worker, whatever we want to call it. I'm just going to call it healers for the video, but I mean all of the above, because they're indistinguishable when you actually get down to definitions. The bottom line is we're talking about a breed of people with very high empathy. You were born that way. The symptoms quite frequently are that you're the black sheep of the family. People don't understand what you're doing. They don't really get you. You're drawn into a world of healing, of techniques, of meeting people that are on a world of self-discovery. You're probably working with energy, whether you've trained in it or not. You have a natural energy. You have a natural aura that gives off healing. You give off good vibes. You draw people towards you, and you love it. Your world feels better when you can see that you've made a difference in people's lives. These are the symptoms of the empath, and that's your superpower. It's also your absolute kryptonite in the world of a narcissist until you wake up to the stuff that we're going to talk about today. So the end goal in this dynamic is for you to love yourself so much more than you love your partner, who's possibly a narcissist right now. When you stop putting their needs above your own, that's the goal. That's where we're heading with all of my videos to get you to that point. But as I say, folks, and I can't emphasize this enough, this is usually a very long and painful process. And people can be in relationships with narcissists. Empaths can be in relationships with narcissists for decades before they wake up to this. And what it is really, it's a superhero school. That's what it is. Your relationship with a narcissist is a school for superheroes. And you don't qualify until you get out. That's the simplicity of it, folks. Because at the point where the pain has been ramped up to such a level that that's it, that's when the empath claims back their superpowers. That's when you say enough is enough. Now I'm putting my own sanity, my own well-being, my own life ahead of everybody else. And that's when the superhero cloak gets donned, and that is where your world will change in ways that you can't imagine at the moment. So that's the end goal, folks. But it's okay. This is often a long, painful, and arduous journey. And from my own personal perspective, involves spending a lot of money on your own personal development. And that has been part of the process for me. So we all need help. There's not many, I don't know if there's anyone that can do this on their own. So let's start with that. The only reason that I'm here recording this video for you is because I've undergone like a hell of a lot of therapy. I've gone through a hell of a lot of pain, and I've had to come out the other end. It's been very bruising and battering, but I see that as a necessary journey, and that will be a necessary journey for you. So regardless how painful and desolate and lost and lonely you're feeling at the moment, this is part of the process. It's part of the journey. It's part of you having to wake up. It's part of the pressure cooker. You put the pressure cooker up and we turn up the pressure and we cook. And it can take a while before you're ready, before you're cooked, before you're enough is enough. That's it. That's the exit stage left part of the equation. So it's all happened for a reason. And what we're doing here is just planting little seeds, because the odds are that you're not going to watch a video and think, yes, that's me. That's right. Let's get out. There's probably going to be practical things like, can you afford to? What about the kids? What about everyone else? See, this is a gift and a curse for the empath. You're probably putting everyone else's well-being above your own, and possibly feeling at a really low, stuck point in your life now. But you're not serving anyone. Here's the reality, here's the brutal truth of it. You're not serving anybody by enduring that dynamic that's making you feel terrible, that's keeping you in a relationship with a narcissist, even if there are kids involved, folks. So that's the reality of the situation. You need to get out. There's no fast track for that. Well, there is a fast track to exit stage left, to beat me up, Scotty, to that's enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough is enough, folks. So empaths have a wonderful skill, and I've had it all of my life. You're sensitive to energy. You're very good at helping people. You're intuitive, and you are a channel. Here's something. I studied channeling because I thought it was really cool. I saw some people do some really cool channeling stuff. And what I realized is that channeling isn't necessarily what other people think it is, and people get preconceptions. So for me, what channeling is when I'm fully present, especially when I was working with people at the end of their life as a nurse. I'd always think, I don't know what to say to this person. And what I would do, I would just hold space and I would listen. And what I found when I did that, I held space and I listened and I just wanted to help people. I would find words of wisdom coming through me and I'd no idea where they came from. When you say something that's so deeply profound, and it might be something you've never thought of before. Now, I found that I developed this skill set when I was working with people who were facing death, because I didn't know what to say. I mean, and they don't train you for that stuff during nurse training. Nobody ever took us aside. Here's how to deal with someone that's just been given a death sentence. That is the training program that they did not give us as nurses. So I used to sit there and just listen. I used to ask questions about people, you know, what was important in your life? What were your achievements? What were your biggest regrets? And the tragedy, folks, is that I met so many empaths at the end of their life. And one of the biggest regrets that they had, and this is coming from people that have lived their full life and are staring death in the face, is that they didn't put their own needs higher on the priority list. That they spent so much of their life trying to keep other people happy and to the detriment of themselves, feeling utterly miserable at the end of it. So there you go. So now that we've talked about this dynamic, I'm here today to plant a seed for you. If you're in a narcissistic relationship, the only way to resolve this is to get out. You're not going to change them. Here's a belief that absolutely cripples people. They might change. Things might get better. No, they won't, folks. You cannot get better with someone that has no empathy. Narcissists are very good at pretending that they have empathy and playing the game and saying the right things at the right time, just enough to make you think or believe that there might be hope there. There might be something worth salvaging in this relationship. There really isn't. And I can tell you for certain, absolute certain, that the most important relationship in your life, and this is from somebody that's worked with hundreds of people who were very close to death, is the relationship with yourself. That's it. Your relationship with you is the pinnacle of self-actualization. Being in love with yourself, regardless who you're in a relationship with, even when you're not in a relationship with anyone else, folks. Being comfortable in your own company, loving the person that looks in the mirror. That's the goal. That is the pinnacle. That's Maslow 101, folks, for anyone that's ever come across that. Self-actualization is self-love, it's self-fulfillment, it's feeling that you have it all, regardless who's in your life or not, as the case may be. Even if you're alone and single, just being happy with that relationship. That is where it's at, folks. That's the Buddhist way. That's the monk philosophy. You know, work on yourself, slow down your breathing, meditate. From somebody that spent a long time in silent meditation retreats, I can tell you it's painful, folks. And the goal is non-attachment. Now, that's probably not realistic, and that's probably a bit too far out. It's probably too much too soon for this video, so I'm going to rein myself in. And we're going to conclude this video by giving you a practical exercise. So I'm trained in a lot of energy work. Now, you don't need to know anything about that. So probably the most common thing that people would know is being a Reiki master. I've studied that. I've studied things like vortex healing, energetic NLP, channeling. I've done Hawaiian Huna, past life. I've done timeline therapy. I've done a whole host. Any woo-woo rabbit hole, you can probably find that I've been down that. But the point being that I have an array of various energetic tools to help you out. And the only thing that you need, I'm going to simplify 25 years of studying energy medicine. The only thing that you need to get about this, the most important thing, is that energy follows thought. If you believe it, it's far more likely to happen. And there's study after study after study that proves that. So all you need to do is, for today, for this video, is just be open-minded enough just to test it yourself. The things that I've studied have been 90% believing that it's possible and 10% techniques. That's the truth about working with energy. The large majority of the training is getting you to believe it. And the only way that I believed it was to actually get out there and do it and then get undeniable evidence that this stuff works. So test it. All you need is an open mind for this exercise. And we're going to plant some seeds to send you in the right direction. So let's start with the principle of energy work. As an empath, we're a magnet and we take on board other people's energy. We certainly do it growing up. We heal our parents. So there's the first thing that you need to do. When we're young and vulnerable, there's no option for flight, and we certainly can't fight. So when we're open in that state, we take on board energy, and it's a sort of enlightened self-interest to heal our parents. So that's the dynamic that causes us to do and say things that our parents used to say that we didn't necessarily like when we're in adult worlds. So these exercises, this exercise now is going to help you to offload some of that energy. And I'm guessing a lot of it will be parental, family energy, stuff that's not yours. The bottom line is that most healers and empaths that haven't trained in energy work are carrying no more than 2% of their own core energy. It's a shocking realization, but it's true. The stuff that you're feeling at the moment, the odds are it's not even yours. That as an empath, you've taken on board other people's shit. And now you're experiencing it for them in order to heal them so that you felt better. You felt better about healing them, but you're not feeling better because you've taken on board their energy. So if this is making sense to you, then this next exercise will be like a shower for you. So this isn't something that you're going to do now and it's going to change you for the rest of your life. It is, from an energy perspective, it's like taking a shower. And the more often you do it, the cleaner your energy will be. So I would say do this as often as you can think of. It's certainly a daily exercise. So it's very simple, folks. I want you to put your feet flat on the floor now. I want you to get your spine straight and I want you to get comfortable. You might want to shut your eyes. That's entirely up to you. I'm going to guide you through it. And remember that energy follows thought. So all you need to do is believe this and follow the instructions, and it will happen for you. So the first thing is you're going to ground yourself. Now, if you have a way of grounding yourself, do that. If you don't know what grounding is, just imagine a ball of light at the center of the earth and a cord connecting to the base of your spine. Now you're going to imagine a lake in front of you with a big magnet in the center of it. Now you're going to allow that magnet to draw off any energy that isn't yours. You might feel something, you might not. It doesn't matter. Just allow that to happen. You can amplify your energy with this by slowing down your breathing, because your breathing controls your mood. The slower you breathe, the better you feel. As you slow down your breathing and allow all of the energy that isn't yours to go into that magnet, when that process feels complete, allow the magnet to drop down to the center of the earth and dissipate. And now that you've released all that energy that isn't yours, you're going to fill up with the energy that is. Going to imagine a ball of light above your head. And now white light energy is going to come and fill up all of those gaps that have just filled, that have just been emptied with your own true essence source energy. And you're going to set an intention to put your self-love above the love that you have for anyone else, because that is the goal. That is the realization, and that is the belief that will get you out of any relationship that isn't working. Your self-well-being is essential, especially for the people you love the most, because the people that you love the most will love you enough want you to have a happier, more fulfilling life. So as you take your energy back and have that awareness, take one more deep breath, breathe in that new energy, and come back into this moment, my friends. Come back to this moment. This is where it's at. Now, you can do that energy exercise anytime you want, as regularly as you want. And remember, these are seeds. This is a seed. This is a pathway. This is a guide for you to navigate your way out of any relationship that isn't currently working for you, because your relationship with yourself is the most important. And if you're not feeling it right now, then you need to set your sights for a place where you do. As the healer and the empath, you will heal more people when you're happy. You will feel more connected when you are in a good space. And if you are spending time with people that don't respect your energy and your well-being, then you're wasting your life and you're wasting your time, folks. So with that bombshell, with that boom to finish things off, I'm going to invite you, if you're new to this, if you're still watching now, then please like and subscribe this video because we want to get this message out. But more importantly, I'm going to be releasing content and exercises for you to help you to navigate your life to a better place. To a better place, folks. That's where we're heading. We all want to be in a better place. And you can either go down the route that I had to go down and spend decades coming to this awareness and spending hundreds of thousands of pounds on training and self-development, or you can follow this channel and I will give it to you for free because it is part of my purpose, part of my mission, and part of my goal for my life on this planet to help fellow healers, empaths, and light workers to wake up to this dynamic and to feel better